is possible that this was terrorist related, but we don't know. It's also possible that this was workplace related. What I can assure the American people is we're going to get to the bottom of this, and that we are going to be vigilant, as we always are, in getting the facts before we issue any decisive judgments in terms of how this occurred.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was President Obama. If you read Dana Milbank in the Washington Post last week, and of course, opinion columnist for the Washington Post, Dana Milbank, joins us right now. Hey, Dana, happy holidays. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, and to you too.
Well, okay, so I thought it was a very well-written piece, very appropriate, and I love the title, Barack Obama, President Obama. How do you account for, I guess what you describe overall in that piece is detachment and an unwillingness or an inability to have any passion when he speaks or when he feels for terrorism or certain victims?
Yeah, this has been sort of an ongoing critique I've had of the president on this and many other issues for a long period of time. And he sort of figures, well, he's playing the long game. He doesn't want to, light his hair on fire. And I understand the logic of that. And if you look at, the fight against Islamic State in particular, he does have a point in that, the people who are criticizing his policy don't necessarily have any other policy they're talking about. But where I think I think it's a fair criticism, though, to say that when he was in Turkey and he said, well, some critics just think if I sounded more belligerent, that would be better. And I think it would be better. It wouldn't defeat Islamic State, but I think Americans like to have a sense that they have a commanding commander-in-chief. So, look, I didn't agree with a lot of what George W. Bush did, but he definitely had a better way of presenting himself, and he sounded more as if he were ready to rally the nation. So I think it's not really a policy critique. I just think this president could do more to rally Americans to whatever his policy is, and he's doing.
Yeah, I don't want to go into a debate about policy, but there are many who will tell you he doesn't follow the advice of his generals. He presented targets to France to hit, which obviously he wouldn't hit, and he had those targets. I mean, we could go right on down the line, and of course we have Morell, who said that he believes that we wouldn't bomb oil fields or hit oil tankers because it would be bad for the environment, and so I mean that's insanity.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's, ultimately, which targets we're bombing it's a worthwhile thing, all of them or a few of them. That's not going to be what's going to change there. The question is, are we going to put troops on the ground? That's really where the debate needs to be, and I think there's a compelling case to be made that we should. I don't really hear anybody other than Lindsey Graham making that case. I mean, people talk about, having a safe zone. Okay, well, you can declare it a safe zone, but if you're not going to enforce it with troops on the ground, then it's not really going to be a safe zone. So, I mean, you can take with airstrikes, but I think that, in a way, it's sort of besides the point, because the real debate is, are we actually going to invade that country? And I don't hear anybody seriously suggesting that.
All right, let's go to your video that you made. I want everybody to see it and hear it, then we'll talk about it. It involves Donald Trump.
Let's not mince words. Donald Trump is a bigot and a racist. Trump led the birther movement, challenging President Obama's standing as a natural-born American.
Our president has finally released a birth certificate.
Falsely claimed thousands of Muslims celebrated the 9/11 attacks in New Jersey.
And I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down.
It is long past time for Trump's rivals for the nomination to find the courage to call the man what he is.
All right, so that goes along with your column that was out the other day. Donald Trump is a bigot and a racist. Let me ask you about today's CNN poll numbers. Donald Trump has 36% among Republicans and Republican-leaning independents. He has a 20-point lead. And since all these statements about Muslims, starting with I think 2 days before the Paris attacks, where he said he bombed the you-know-what out of ISIS, he is now up to 46% believe he's best equipped to handle ISIS. That's up 31 points. So why are so, including independents who lean Republican, turning to Donald Trump if he's all the things you say he is?
Well, look, I mean, I say in there that I don't believe that all of Trump's supporters are racist, and I think a lot of people are turning to him out of frustration, anxiety, and anger, really, with the economy, that people feel like they're being left behind. If you look at his supporters, they tend to be older, white, and less well educated, and these are the groups that are most inclined to feel like they're being left behind as the economy marches on. And the other is clearly has a bit of a nationalist bit to it, and that is he is the toughest talker out there. And so I think you've seen this rallying effect of Trump after these recent attacks and shootings, and people are looking for a strong leader, which gets to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the antithesis of Obama. Yeah, we got 30 seconds, so keep going. Go ahead.
So yes, I think that's what's going on there. I don't think people necessarily embracing him because he is a racist and a bigot, and I do think it's important to say that, and I wish people on the right would do that as well, because it's not good for the party, it's not good for conservatives, it's not good for America for somebody to have the standard bearer out there who's you played a couple of those clips, but there are dozens and dozens.
Dana Milbank, thank you. We'll read you in the Washington Post. Please come back. Have a great holiday. The panel's next. Don't go away.